This isn't a Disney hate video, Disney bash video. I'm only saying the truth, speaking the truth, and plus there's enough videos doing that already. This is just me talking about one particular incident, one particular film, a film that I really like by a director that I really like. That director, Terrence Malick, the film A Hidden Life.
I remember that motorcycle, my best dress. You looked at me, and I knew.
A Hidden Life is a beautiful movie about many things, from hope to compassion to even innocence to that an innocence that keeps being pure, that stays pure while the world around it stays corrupted. While even his home becomes corrupt and starts to doubt him, but faith is the one thing. What am I doing? I'm gonna say that for another video. Let's just talk about how Disney fucked over this movie, this beautiful movie that deserves a wider audience because they heavily minimalized it for some odd reason. It was not an odd reason. I don't know why I said that. It's Disney. The weird thing is, I don't know why they did this when you can make some money off of it, but whatever. A Hidden Life had an excellent run at Cannes and just film festivals in general. It was then picked up by what Fox Searchlight the next day, right after it aired at Cannes, screened at Cannes. Excuse me. Um, the thing is, Fox Searchlight was then in turn bought by Disney because remember the Disney Fox merger, the one that destroyed multiple indie theaters and smaller theaters, art house cinemas, all that. Yeah, that merger. Um, it also destroyed this movie too. It didn't have to. That's the thing. It didn't even have to destroy all those other things either. It just happened, I guess, because of Disney, because they want money, and it's just it's a whole system. That's a whole different video on its own. I keep getting off track. I threw away my script just to follow in the spirit of Terrence Malick's A Hidden Life because they did the same thing, and I feel like that was a mistake. Because I'm just gonna ramble like I'm doing now, so I'm gonna get myself together and keep going. It's a true shame what Disney did to this movie. It's a very excellent and beautiful movie where they started to raise and charge exorbitant prices for it for some odd reason. The screening fees were insane for this movie. They were asking for a blockbuster like MCU adventure movies, action movie prices for this that art house theaters can't afford. These smaller indie theaters can't afford. It was just something they will never see a true return on to the point where it wasn't even worth sharing. Like you said, like they know their audience would be into it. There's proof that out there that these people know the audience be out there. I've read multiple threads and whatever have you about this, and these people say, "Yeah, we know our audience will love it. It's just that we can't afford this, and if we do, Disney just gives us a very minimum amount of time we can share it with one or two dedicated screens, and it's typically not even two dedicated screens. It's one." Like I said, you might ask, "How do I know all this?" Here it is for you. Yeah, Hidden Life was gonna have it rough either ways because when this came out, it came out against Star Wars. Something I didn't know until rereading about this subject because I've been wanting to talk about this for a really long time. I ranted about my friends, but they wouldn't care because they don't even like film dudes for real, you know. So this is just like a little outlet. I don't even care if that many people watch it. I just want people to know it and hear and say, "Wow, what the fuck." Because I know a couple people on Twitter know it. Well, a lot of people on Twitter know it, but they dropped it. Like all these industry personnel, some whether they're writers, critics, whatever have you, a lot of check marks, and some of them which weren't even check marks, but they used to industry personnel and fans as well. Talked about this movie, talked about this and the third. Well, when it's come for them to put it on their blogs, vlogs, reviews, distinct pieces, critiques, discussions, all this, they were quiet on this matter. People Theater owners, workers, goers have all complained and to no resolve because there's just nothing to it. And I've seen people defending Disney on this on doing stuff like this, like what saying, well, fuck, indie theaters, smaller theaters for having high prices on their food and beverages anyway. Like, what are you talking about? Every theater ever is gonna have high prices on their snacks, food, and beverages. That's how they make most of their money. Screening fees have always been expensive, and they're getting more and more expensive because you guys keep almost started ranting. Like I said, that's in the video. But in short, they're always going to be high because that's where theaters make most of their money from. So that's not even a good stance to take or something that just to stand on. Like, what are you possibly talking about? And what does that have to do with this movie getting barred in smaller theaters and indie theaters and art house cinemas getting taken down? And it's just a shame that all these stories are going unheard, and when they were heard, they were just forgotten about in the span of a week. I've seen multiple GoFundMe's just fail, change.org petitions fail, and when they do succeed, nothing happens because COVID happened as well. It's just a terrible state for cinema as a whole, not just for this movie, and it's just a dying. Oh my God, who said it? Jay Bauman recently on Letter Media, well, an old video, said that Hollywood uh, isn't dead. It's been dying forever now. It's a long and dreadful process because a lot of things that's happened now has happened now before. I don't just hate on current expanded universes or gimmicks, whatever you want to say. It's been a thing forever. Look at all the Abbott and Costello movies. Look at all the Universal monster movies. Like it's always been a thing. Look at when they was doing 4D to Smellorama back in the day, like in what was that, the 50s through the 60s. Hell, even in the 70s, like the 3D craze back then, the Smellorama, all that stuff. It's always been a thing. It just sucks that when art like this gets mitigated, destroyed, damaged, buried by a huge corporation on bats an eye. And when they do bat an eye, they just talk about it on a social media platform, but they don't say anything else because they scared about their job. And I guess I get it because you need to have a job, especially in industry like this, the film industry. It's just crazy. Like, where do you cut the line between like stuff like that and like art and passion? I guess you gotta have a good mix and balance, but it rarely feels like there's ever a good mix and balance. There's always something else involved. And that's really feel bad for this movie and Terrence Malick. Never involved because they all were just so passionate about it. Just watching it behind the scenes is just very amazing and heartfelt. I usually watch behind the scenes, but this is like the first movie for me in my 25 plus years on this earth where I actually like deep dove into behind the scenes. Like I always like deep dove, but for this one, I literally deep dove and was watching like interviews, discussions, all of that from like that everyone involved. Not to become good, I will watch behind the scenes here and there, and I'll just watch like director and then like the lead actresses and actresses or whatever. But like this movie is just that great. I was this moved by this movie. That's a lot of moves. And it just sucks that Disney destroyed it, and for what reason? Because they wanted to re-air an Endgame so it can get top one in the box office, something it lost anyway this past March. Again, like what for Star Wars? Like it's enough room for everyone. Disney, you don't have to bar and destroy these movies and then throw them up on the streaming service you own, Hulu, that a lot of people don't know you own. I'm serious, Miss Honestly, I can't say that word today. You just throw it up there, but I guess they don't really put anything up there with a ceremony or like make a big deal of it unless it's something they really want to push their X-Men shit. I'm just talking around it now. You can click out the video. It's just I'm getting it all out. It's just a shame that a movie as beautiful as this has been taken down. And it's funny because the name is a hit on live. And I was going to say, what about all the other stories out there just like this that we don't know about unless we look for it? The only reason I know about this is because I still having to follow just a bunch of industry personnel. And only one of them talked about it. No one's talking about it until this one person whose name I'm going to keep censored for obvious reasons. I don't want people swarming them if this video just so happens to get a lot of views. But this is something that deserves to be known. But it's just like you guys know and see this and then go and say nothing about it. Like, if you don't even want to go all out on it, just mention in your review. Just say it sucks that this happened. But I guess even then, that's too much of a risk when you take on the mouse. But I'm not afraid of the mouse. What's the Ghostbuster? I ain't afraid of no mouse. I just really don't know. It's just this movie was just heavily mitigated. They made like little to no Blu-rays for it. It's just thrown up on Hulu. So just watch it. I didn't watch it on there. I watched it before it was on Hulu a while ago. I have my means and resources. But yeah, Hidden Life, I highly recommend it. If you watch it, I hope you enjoy it. If not, oh well. I guess it's not for everyone. That's how Terrence Malick is. His movies can be quite boring and slow. But there is a very beautiful movie. Just like all of his movies, it feels more like an anthropology piece than an actual film. And that's again in a good way though. I mean, it still feels like a film, but it feels like more like the study of human the observation of humans and looking at people, you know, in this time period in the setting. And I think it's really genius and it's really great. The only negative is he's too consistent in his style. And so it's like you know what to expect from a Terrence Malick movie. It's not much progress there. But I'm gonna save all that for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed it and maybe learned a thing or two about A Hidden Life. I'm gonna make this part 1 and 2. This is more just like me getting my general feelings out about the movie, how much I love it and how great I honestly think it is. How it's probably was the best movie of 2019. Actually, I think it is or was for sure. And how Disney is just a shitty corporation, but I'm assuming you knew that already. If not, you know it now. They just completely buried this movie, just stumped it out, and just hid it away. Just like they followed down multiple other movies that we never know about, and they destroyed all those small theaters, and they don't care. But yeah, X-Men could join the MCU now.
And I knew
I don't know. I was trying to end this on a joke, but I can't think anything.
how simple life was then.
What's happened to our country?
We're killing innocent people,
Raiding other countries, preying on the weak.
if our leaders, if they're evil, what does one do?
You have a duty to the fatherland. The church tells you so.
You cannot say no to your race and your hope. You are a traitor.
I can't swear loyalty to Hitler.
ちょっと窮屈でしょうけど我慢してくださいね。